Hello, everyone, and welcome to Newtown, Pennsylvania for HyzerMedia's coverage of version 31.24 of the YETTER, presented by BS Upshot and the Bucks County Disc Golf Alliance. We are heading into the second round on the East Course. I'm in the booth, Michael Grofsick, joined by Brett Hensley. How are we doing today, Brett?
Hey, thanks, Mike. Can't wait for this final round. Really excited to see how things finish out. For lead card, we've got Justin Rosak, who came in at a scorching -13, Curtis Toews at a -11, Zach Tesone, who we saw on the previous card at -9, and Bo Lee rounding out the card at -7. So still a lot to play for. You can see our competitors through some really hot, over 1,000 rated rounds in the first round on the west side. And we will be playing the east side today. In the final round, we kind of reverse the order normally with the YETTER. So finishing out here, east side, hole 1. Let's get started. 496 foot, par 4. You can see you just want to kind of throw your putter or mid straight out the gap, or you can get a little more aggressive and try and make that right bending turn toward the basket. We'll see what our players go with here. So Justin will be starting us off. And it looks like he's throwing a slow speed disc right down the middle. And that's all you need to do on this hole. Just kind of get it right past the A-pin. Really good shot to start off his round.
And we'll see Curtis here starting with a forehand, maybe trying to get a little more aggressive. And it should be said, the East Course tends to play tougher than the West, so there could definitely be some moves on the leaderboard today. Definitely still a very tightly contested contest in this second round.
Yeah, no doubt. So much to play for. And we've got Zach going forehand, getting aggressive, just like Curtis. And he's around the corner, and he's in position to get up and down for his birdie.
And we'll see Bo Lee here rounding out the card. He's going to go forehand as well, try to round that corner. And it looked like a bit of an early release. We kind of lost it behind him there, but I think that kind of faded out. It did. Yep, he's going to end up in the corner there.
Yeah, looks like he's going to have to go patent penned to try and make the corner here up and over. He's going real high, trying to get around that tree. And, he's actually it looks like he went roller. I don't know if that was intentional, but he got way up there. He's going to have to probably throw over those bushes to access the basket. So we'll see what he has left.
Yeah, my guess from the type of shot there was it was probably accidental. I think he was just trying to go with that real high ante around the corner and just turned it a little too much, but it worked out pretty well for him, as we see Zach lay up here to probably about edge of circle, a little further than he would have liked from that distance, I think.
Yeah, let's see if Curtis can get a little bit closer. It looks like he might be jump putting from here, and he is, and he's got some power on that, and he's coming into the hillside. Really great speed control right by the basket. He'll have a tap-in birdie to start his round.
And I think that's more of what Zach was hoping for, seeing as how they were in a pretty similar position. So a good job by Curtis there to get himself under the basket, and then Bo does the same out of the rough.
Yeah, Bo is fortunate to have that gap there. I've been in spots over there where the only option is to go up. And it looks like love a pitch out here within the bushes. Easy tap in.
So Zach with the only kind of tester out of the card, and he is able to sink it for his birdie to kick off his round. The rest of the guys are going to just have tap-ins here.
Yeah, great start from the lead card here. Looks like we're going to get a couple of birdies. Par from Bo. He's got some ground to make up. I appreciate the aggression he was going for. And Justin will start off with a par as well. So he's going to drop a couple strokes to Curtis and Zach going into hole 2. Hole 2, one of the shorter holes on this course. It's a 224-foot par 3. You can see there's a really tight tunnel gap off of the tee. You want your disc to start moving right immediately, and you're going to have to miss a few trees down the fairway to access this really guarded basket. There's a couple of lines here. There's a right side local line, and then the traditional left fairway line. It's like Curtis is opting for the right side, and he's trying to throw a flippy putter here, but it looked like it didn't really flip, but it got through everything, and he should have about a circle's edge look there for his birdie.
And it looks like Zach might be lining up that local route as well, but with a forehand, maybe a thumber? Yeah, going with the overhand. He's going to put it just inside the circle. It is interesting that there is no Mando on that first tree. The unintended right side gap does make it definitely an easier hole than that middle gap.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of players opt for that right side. I like it. It kind of gives you a dealer's choice. Really guarded either way. And we see another overhand there that just really didn't get out the gap there from Justin. So he'll be scrambling for another par.
And then Bo opting for the overhand as well. He finds the right line. It looks like it cut rolls just a little bit back towards that log pile, but he'll definitely still have a look at birdie.
And Justin will be first to throw here. He's trying to go to the right side. It's a little more open over there. Looks like he contacted some branches, but he'll be about maybe 25 feet there to save his par.
And that's definitely going to be a putt that he wants to sink. Obviously, you want to get them all, but you really don't want to be walking away with a bogey on hole 2 here, especially as short as it is, as Bo is just a bit off to the side on his putt.
Yeah, good effort from Bo. He's got to be running everything to try and catch up to the leaderboard at this point. Oh, and Zach's just a little bit high there on his bid. That's really unfortunate to take an extra stroke there. He's going to be dropping some here potentially to Curtis, who's in for birdie. And again, Curtis picking up some strokes here early in the round.
We'll see if Justin can save his par after a little bit of a shaky start to the hole. And he does. He hits center basket, center chains. Nicely done there.
Yeah, solid save there. Zach's probably going to want to have that stroke back, but he'll tap him for par. No damage there. Only loses one stroke to Curtis and doesn't fall back any from Justin. Now going from the third easiest hole on the round to the second hardest hole on the round, you'll see there's a gap you have to immediately hit off the tee. It's a par 5, 804 feet, one of the longer par 5s on the course. You really just kind of want to play golf and stay on the fairway here. Get through that initial gap, bite off a bit. If you can get up to the A, in between the A and B pin, you'll be in really good position. So we'll see how aggressive these players want to get on this hole. And it looks like Curtis will be first to throw. And he pulled it off to the right a little, but it gets through, and he's looking for it to fade back onto the fairway, and it does pretty well there. Really good ground play, puts him right in the middle of the fairway. He should be able to attack from there.
Yeah, you can see even on camera how tight that gap is. So even if it doesn't end up as your ideal shot, just getting out of this gap is going to be a good start to the hole for you. As we see Zach lining up the forehand, which is always a good way to hit the gap. You're not turning your body away from it. It was going to fade out a little bit, but it catches the big tree there and kicks it right back into the middle of the fairway. That's quite a nice break for Zach there.
Yeah, really solid positioning. Now we're going to go with Justin's forehand shot, looking to peer the gap. It looks like he's down the middle. Hopefully that won't fade out too far to the right. Looks like he is in the rough, but he was able to bite off a lot of distance, so he should be able to manufacture something from down there.
We're going to see the forehand from Bo here as well. That looks like it's fading out early on a little too much hyzer, and it does indeed. He ends up over on the right side rough there, and as you can see here, not a whole lot to work with.
Yeah, looks like he's got to go tomahawk overhand here, or a big flex forehand. Let's see if the catch cam can find this one. Oh, and he's out. He's past the B pin on the fairway. That's a great way to get back in position.
It's an incredible shot, honestly.
Absolutely.
From not even being able to see the fairway, just in the middle of a bush. Just really, really good shot. And I think that might have been Justin there. It was a little hard to see.
Yeah, it was Justin pitching out and over. It looked like he found left side rough. Curtis is in position here. He's going to go with another forehand. And he got down there, but I think he might be on the left side rough.
And we'll see Zach here try to follow up his good first shot.
He needs that to turn.
And you can hear him say it as soon as he let it go. He knew it immediately, and he's going to end up on the left side rough there.
We got Bo, who was able to get back in position with a great shot. And look at this forehand. He's might be getting up to the rock wall. And I think he bounced off the rock wall, unfortunately, to push himself back. But he should have an easy up and down there. You can see the basket's elevated, so it makes for a really tricky putt.
Yeah, after his first shot, to even have a chance at a birdie is really impressive scramble from Bo there. as we see Justin go with the forehand roller, and it looks like he's kind of going rough to rough at the moment on this hole.
Yeah, hopefully he'll have an up and down. Curtis, you can see, is in that left side rough, throwing a forehand here, looking for it to flex. Looks like he hit the ground short of the rock wall. He'll have a decision whether or not he wants to run that putt from that far back with the OB behind the basket.
And this is a tough angle for Justin here, but it looks like he does it extremely well.
Oh,
Puts it in the
absolutely.
bullseye, tap in par.
Perfect. Great shot. See Zach giving this a little bit of a bid, and he checks up, so he'll stay in bounds. He'll be able to tap that one in.
Curtis looking to get up and down from pretty close range. Just barely misses that skinny tree and puts it in the bullseye for the tap in.
Yeah, it didn't look like he really wanted to run that. We'll see if Bo gives this a little bit of a bid. He does, and he just misses it in front of the hyzering in front of the basket there. But we'll have some tap-ins here to collect. Hopefully it looked like everyone, kind of played that clean. I think these are all mostly par tap-ins.
I believe Zach's might be for birdie. We'll see in a second. No, it was par. So I believe it is a par frame from the card.
It's hard to keep track of so many shots on a par 5, that's for sure.
The par 5s are tough going back and forth, especially when some of the shots are in the bushes and you're not quite sure who actually threw it at first. So
Yeah. So I will give one shout out to John Maldoff, the only birdie in the field on that hole. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. So Justin kind of started off a little cool. So him and Curtis are tied right now at 13 down. And then, they're kind of battling it out for first, but we've got some good competition behind them. So hole 4, it's a 460-foot par 4. You want to throw your disc really just kind of straight down the middle. If you can get it turning right, that's even more ideal. So you'll see a lot of players probably opt for a forehand here. It looks like Curtis is going to do that, maybe to try to bite off some additional distance down the right side fairway. Oh, and he pulled it left. He's going to need help. There is OB Road on the left side. And we see one of the spectators calling it safe, so it looks like he was very fortunate not to go out on the road.
very nice safe call there, no doubt about that one. Nicely done from the spotter spectator there. As Zach also lines up the forehand and finds the fairway with his, just on the right-hand side, but he is on the fairway.
Yeah, that's actually a fantastic spot. He should be able to attack the green from there. We got Justin who's opting for the backhand. I imagine he's probably not going to want to try to bite off too much distance down the right side, but he does make the turn, and he'll be just behind there. He should be able to attack the green as well.
Bo going for the forehand as well. I believe we've seen all forehands from him so far off the tee. He's going to find himself in the right side rough. This hole did play more than a stroke over par. So taking a bogey is not really losing anything to the field. You're not gaining anything, but you're not losing anything, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely the most difficult hole on the course. Looks like Justin's going pat and pen, trying to get down to that green, and fortunately you can see a lot of trees. He caught one. He should be able to get up and down for his birdie, though.
And it looks like Curtis ended up pretty close to that OB road there. He's going to go left side and try to get back down onto the green. It looks like he might have kicked up out of bounds. He did, so he did find it on the second one, trying to shortcut the hole through the left side.
Yeah, that's the danger of getting aggressive on the left there. You're really pushing that OB road, and unfortunately kicked off one of the trees. We get to Zach's drive, and he had that going right to the green, unfortunately connecting on one of the skinny trees there. Looks like Curtis is playing fast. I think he's going over the road again. Oh, wow. He didn't progress at all. I think he's just going to have to kind of rethrow.
Yeah, that is a very, very bad mistake to make there. Staying out over the road the whole time and never finding his way back in. That's a great follow-up shot to save something, but I think with the two OB strokes, that might be for triple bogey at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really bad mistake. Unfortunate since he started so hot on his round through the first 3. And it looks like Bo's throwing a nice forehand there. Looks like he's going to be circle's edge there. See if he can connect with that putt.
Yeah, and you can see how much it slopes off past the basket from that angle, and I think that might have gotten Curtis's head going out over the road. He didn't want to have it hyzer too far right and end up down that hill.
Yeah, absolutely. That hillside can be really treacherous, and we saw Zach pitch up to perfection there. He'll have a tap in for his par. And we have Justin doing the same thing, putting it right by Zach's disc. Another tap in.
See Bo try to clean up his par here from about, call it 22 feet, and he's able to do that. So all pars for Bo to start his round through the first four.
Yeah, solid start. He's going to need to pick it up, though, and get some birdies if he wants to get back in this race. See, Curtis has a little bit left to clean up here. I believe it is a triple bogey. Yeah, that's really unfortunate after his start. So, hopefully he can shake that one off and get himself back in it.
Yeah, he had the best start out of the lead card, so for him to take a triple bogey, it's a big blow to the momentum he was building. He had tied Justin through 2 holes for the lead, so we'll see how he can bounce back.
Yeah, here's an opportunity here. Hole 5, 615-foot par 4. They did push this tee pad back about 100 feet, making it a little bit more difficult of a par 4 than what it used to play. You really just want to split those 2 trees right down the middle with a driver and just kind of bite off as much distance as you can straight ahead. We'll see Zach here pushing the right side. Unfortunately, connects with the tree there, but he does get kicked into the fairway, so he should have a long option to try and get up and down, maybe to see if he can get a putt for birdie.
And we see Justin fade out a little bit to the left there, but it looked like he got a good amount of distance on it before it did that.
Yeah, he's down there. He should have a Hyzer option on that left side. So you've got Bo pulls it over to the right. It's on Hyzer, so it's not really in danger of going into the OB road on that right side. And Hyzer is right back into the fairway. Great shot from Bo there, kind of using the entire fairway, the right side of the fairway to get back in the middle.
Yeah, it might have actually been using even a little bit more than the fairway here, as Curtis is going to try to do the same thing and unfortunately not get quite as lucky as Bo did down that right side.
This looks like a solid recovery shot, though. Oh, yeah, it's missing everything, getting way down there. That's going to give him a long look for birdie. Great shot from way out of position.
Yeah, and that would have been really easy for him to not have a great shot there either. He had the triple bogey, the rough drive off the tee. So for him to have a 10 out of 10 recovery shot there was pretty big for his game at this point, as we see Zach actually go a little bit past the basket.
He got a great deflection off one of the little trees. It just kind of skimmed the tree and maybe even sped the disc up a little bit. That was another fantastic shot. We have Justin. You can see he's kind of in a tree jail over there, but that's really good to progress out. And it looks like he's in the circle. He'll have a good look for birdie.
Yeah, another great shot by Justin there. I mean, it could have been shot down after 10 feet with all the trees there, but he found his way all the way to within 10 feet. So,
yeah, unfortunately, Bo found the tree jail and didn't get out of it. And he's going to connect again. Man, that's tough break after having such a good drive. He's got a long par putt.
looks like he's deep C2 here. We'll see how close he's able to put it. He runs it just over the basket. He'll find himself maybe about 18 to 20 feet on the comebacker there.
Yeah, really unfortunate after such a good drive to have to take a bogey. I'll see if Curtis can jam this in, get a birdie from way back out of his. Oh, and he connects on the left side of that tree. It almost deflected back into the basket, but he'll at least have an easy tap in par.
See Zach with a lean out straddle putt here around the couple trees he's tucked into, and unfortunately those trees did just kind of get the best of him there. It looked like he was forced a little bit too far to the left, and that is where the putt missed off to. So tough
Yeah,
break there.
we haven't seen Zach miss too many putts, across this tournament. There's one he definitely wants to have back, and solid putt there by Bo just to clean up for his bogey.
And Justin is going to tap in for his birdie, his first of the day, so getting his round on track. The rest of the guys just tapping out.
So we're still really close on that scoreboard. We'll see what they have here for hole 6, looking to bounce back with some birdies. 407-foot par 4. There's a mando tree on the left. You want to stay to the right of that and then have your disc fade to the left down the fairway. And then you should have maybe about 200 or so feet to the basket here next to the dead tree. So really everyone's just trying to kind of throw their straight drive, something that's going to fade. I bet these guys are going to be throwing something pretty stable just to get left. We'll see Justin here. He's around he hits the mando tree, but he hits the right side of it. So he'll at least be on the fairway. It's going to be a really tough up and down from there, though.
We'll see how Zach can follow that up. Also with a backhand that he puts on a pretty good amount of hyzer. And he's going to sit that down right in the middle of the fairway, dead center. Great shot from Zach there.
A really good placement shot, not trying to bite off too much. Looks like Curtis is really trying to make that left side get around. He pushed it a little deep, and he's probably just off the fairway, but he should be able to lean out, and he'll have something from in there.
But with his drive is going to be pretty much, it's a bit unfortunate. He was pretty much middle of the fairway, but unfortunately pushed up against a pretty big tree there.
You can see Justin a little off the fairway here. He's pushing. He unfortunately pushes that OB road, and he goes out of bounds. And hopefully he won't be too obstructed from the basket in there.
So that OB is most likely going to end Justin's clean streak, which gives Zach an opportunity here to make up a stroke, potentially 2. And he does a pretty good job putting himself to about 25 feet, just down the slope a little bit there from the basket.
Yeah, great putt there. It looks like he might have to straddle again around that dead tree. And Bo plays his upshot to perfection. He goes a little bit long, but he has a manageable putt.
Yeah, really good job by Bo there with some potentially awkward footing, putting himself very close. And Curtis does recover to about 15 feet or so.
This can get hairy here for Justin. He's really got to make sure he gets out clean and gets to the basket. Good pitch up there to minimize the damage.
Let's see if Zachary can take a couple strokes here. And he does. Left side, but in. And he will gain 2 strokes on Justin. And I think 1 stroke on Curtis.
Yeah, fantastic putt again from Zach. And Curtis will collect his birdie as well. So both Zach and Curtis picking up a couple strokes there on Justin to cut down on that lead.
Yeah, I think I might have attributed one of Justin's strokes there to Curtis. So Curtis with the birdie as well. So him and Zach will maintain the same pace. And Bo, unfortunately, coming up just short, hitting nubs on the basket.
All right, so we've got a tight race between the top 3 here on our lead card. Let's check in on the leaderboard and see if anyone's trying to make a run from the chase card. And we see Justin, Curtis, and Zach all in it there, with Bo still in 4th at -6. And it looks like they're starting to really separate themselves from the rest of the field. We'll see what happens with the remaining 3 holes on this front 9. So hole 7, 285-foot par 3. You can see that it's a really tight fairway, and the basket is super elevated at the end there, with OB about 20 to 25 feet behind it. So you really want to get as close as you can with your effort to this basket if you really want the birdie. We'll see Zach first off the tee, and he throws this right down the middle. That's got to check up. Oh, he hits the basket, almost throws it in for the ace. Unbelievable. Let's take a look at this again. Wow, right off the basket. Caught a little bit of chain. It does bounce out OB, so unfortunately he's going to have a comebacker for par, it looks like. But what a great story. He almost had an ace at the YETTER.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Zach there. Hit the basket, and then it actually looked like it was dropping down flat and might have sat for him, but it did kind of bounce up and over that log. As Curtis is going to put his off to the right side a little bit there. It doesn't quite get all the way down the tunnel.
And I didn't see an OB marker, so maybe he stayed safe, but I know that line is really tight. And unfortunately, Bo just kind of leaks over on that forehand, and there is a sloped hill over there. So hopefully he stayed up and avoided going down the hill.
Justin doing about what you want to do on this hole. Maybe coming up a little bit short, but I think you're going to take that most times.
And Bo stayed up at least on the hillside, and really good recovery upshot there. He'll have a drop in par.
And Justin not wanting to mess around with the slope behind the raised basket, just laying up for his tap in par.
Yeah, good decision there from Justin. No need to really run that. See what Curtis, if he's going to give this a little bit of a bid, and he does, but connects with a tree. Very fortunate to just kind of get a roll forward right at the basket.
Yeah, I think a bit of an unintentional layup there from Curtis. Obviously, he looked like he was running it, but the tree had other ideas. And Zach did actually go OB over the log. You were right initially. So he will put his par in.
Yeah, that's really a tough break after a tremendous drive and effort there. That's why it's a tough hole, because you really don't want to overshoot the basket. You kind of want to check up early, but solid run nonetheless.
Yeah, great shot, but unfortunately his only chance to stay inbounds really was to ace because the OB is so close behind.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to hole 8. We have a 505-foot par 4. You have the river on the right side playing as OB. Again, it's another tight tunnel gap. The safe play is to kind of fade out to the left to avoid possibly going right OB. And then your second shot, you got to hit another even tighter tunnel to get to the elevated basket at the end of the rock wall. So let's see right here what Justin's going to be doing. It looks like he's going hyzer flip. He's right down the middle, and it looked like it progressed far enough down that he should have something. Hopefully it didn't fade out to the left.
Curtis lining up the tunnel as well, and he's going to skip down that hill a little bit. Hopefully that will roll into a good spot for him. It wants to roll for a while.
So that rolled to the left. He's actually going to have the option to play the left side fairway where the B pin is to get up and down for birdie. And here's Bo's effort on a forehand. I like the forehand on this if you can push it far enough. And it looks like he did, but may have connected on a tree. So he's probably going to not be able to advance down that hill, but still a good effort from Bo.
Yeah, really unfortunate ending to that shot for Bo, as we see Justin hit a very early tree on the left side.
Yeah, that's an early release there from Justin. So he's not going to have much left. He's going to have a lot of work here to, try to save his par. And it looks like he connects with another tree on the hillside, and he's going to have a lot in the way and a decision if he wants to go left or right or even over the top to try to access the basket.
Yeah, and the East Course really showing its teeth this round. Justin shooting the 13 down, 1044 rated first round, and he's just sitting at even right now through 7. So
yeah, nobody really lighting it up, but everyone's kind of top 3 are really close still. And we can see Bo with a good effort to get himself probably just inside the circle for his putt.
Justin with a very important shot here to give himself a chance at saving par, which it doesn't sound like he's going to do, and he doesn't. Couldn't really see the disc for a second there, but unfortunately for him, that's because it hit a tree and was kind of buried in the thick stuff.
Yeah, you could see his attempt was on the left side fairway. Curtis is over there. He's electing to go through the rough. He saw a gap and amazingly got it through, and he's up there putting for birdie.
Yeah, not much of a gap there, but Curtis made it enough of one. And Justin's going to go, I think, out through the same gap that Curtis used, really.
Yeah, you should be able to sink that putt. That was a good job at least minimizing the damage there. And you can see, unfortunately, Zach was a little further away from the basket than he probably wanted to, but good layup effort there. He'll have a tap in for his par.
And unfortunately, Bo comes up just a little bit short. He's had some putting troubles so far in this round. That one wasn't an easy one by any means, but we haven't really seen him sink a longer putt yet.
And Justin's going to lose another stroke here, I believe, to both Curtis and Zach. So Curtis will able to cart his birdie through that. He's losing 2 strokes there to Curtis, actually. He'll be losing 1 to Zach. So look out. We've got a tight top of the leaderboard going into the last hole on the front 9.
Yeah, Curtis really turning it around after that triple bogey, gaining back those strokes pretty quickly, and now tied with Justin at the top, 1 ahead of Zach.
Yeah, so here we go. Final hole, front 9. Hole 9, 615-foot par 5. You have a tight gap here off the tee. You want your disc to start moving left down the fairway to get up and over this hill. Once you access the hill, you're going to want to either throw a forehand or backhand turnover, turning right, giving it enough elevation to stay over the out of bounds creek. You can see the basket is just past the creek. So we'll have Curtis here on the tee pad first. Let's see if he can get up and over this hill with his drive. He's got really good height, really good shape. Oh, and he skips off the top of the hill and he's up there. He should be in really good position to potentially even attack from eagle from back there.
Yeah, not going to do it a whole lot better on your opening shot there, so he's going to be quite happy with that. Zach looking to follow suit, gets around that early tree, and pretty much takes just about the same line that Curtis did, maybe a little bit further back than Curtis's, but still in a great spot.
Yeah, fantastic. And you can tell we're watching MPO coverage because the catch cam is at the top of the hill instead of at the bottom of the hill. And you can see Bo getting good elevation there. I think he crests the hill as well. So we got 3 guys up there.
It does put a little pressure on Justin, having a couple bogeys in his last 3 holes, but he does pretty well himself, and it looks like he's going to find his way onto that hillside as well. Couldn't really see it at the end there, but I think he's up there.
Yeah, he almost made it all the way up, but that's still a really good position to attack for birdie. And he throws a forehand to try to make that right break in the fairway, and it looks like he executed that pretty well. We'll have to see where it landed.
We'll see Bo follow suit here with his forehand. That's going to hyzer out potentially a little early. Might have made the corner there. We'll have to wait and see what his next shot looks like.
Yeah, he had the right shape. Just have to see if it was early. And Zach, similar forehand here. Again, the right shape. But it looks like that was early, and it may have trickled into the right side rough.
We'll see how Curtis follows up his excellent drive.
Yeah, Curtis is in a little bit better position. It looks like he doesn't want to get too aggressive, though. Let's see where Justin, yeah, he kind of got held up on the rough. He's trying to play the right side. Oh, and he's over the bridge. What a bounce and in the circle for a tap-in birdie.
That is some kind of shot right there. You called it the right side. I don't even know if it counts as that because he pretty much threw it through a bush. But unbelievable shot. Bo follows it up pretty well. He goes a little bit long, but he finds his way through everything.
He put that through a clown's mouth pretty much, like miniature golf. There was a split in the trees that the disc went through. That was pretty impressive. Oh, and Zach just absolutely pures it. And he'll be on the green putting for his birdie as well.
All right, so a little bit of pressure on Curtis here to follow up his great start to the hole. It looks like he's going to find himself sitting right down there, pretty close in circle one. So nice job by Curtis playing just a real solid golf hole.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody played this hole well. And great putt there from Bo after going a little bit long to get the birdie. And we got a potential for a star frame here, especially when Zach makes his putt here.
Yeah, that's a great job by Bo after just talking last hole about needing to see him, make some big putts to find his way back towards the top here. That's not an easy one to make, leaning out the side of the bush there, and does a really good job as Zach puts in his 20-footer for his birdie.
And Curtis just hearts it in the basket there for the birdie, and Justin should have a tap-in birdie as well. And lead card doing lead card things. Star frame on the final hole, the front 9. Let's check in on the leaderboard.
So you can see the lead card there. Pretty tight at the top. Bo a little bit further back in 4th place, but all shooting pretty good rounds for the very difficult East course. Justin and Curtis are going to stay tied at the top at 13 down, but Zach right behind them at 12. Bo at 7, and the rest of the leaderboard is separating itself a little bit. John Maldolf with 4 down through the front 9, though. I think the hot round so far. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Elevation Discs, for supporting both our channel and Disc Golf. And we're going to head over to the back nine. It's going to round out the tournament. Stay tuned for that great action, and make sure to subscribe to HyzerMedia for all your disc golf content. We'll see you on the back nine.